Liverpool got their injury man back. You can't give them the head start. Think, right, we're gonna get back into it once we start clicking in Christmas. If you do this, come Christmas, you're gonna be like 15 points adrift, bro. You ain't winning no league, yeah, and they're banking on Kane. You're banking on Kane coming to solve your problem, but yet you don't know who you're dealing with in Spurs, bro. The man, you know what he'll do? Come deadline, there's that, right? Cool. 1 minute left, I accept your bid, yeah? They're done. So, listen, it's one defeat. The only thing I can say is that City typically don't do well against Spurs away from home anyway, yeah?
Two defeats there, though.
Yeah, and Spurs get gassed, the whole league gets gassed about it. But the worrying thing is that City only had 15 minutes. And Spurs could have put them away even more after that. Bergwijn went through and put that one wide. And
he was lively.
He's composure.
There was a couple of range shots wide from Spurs. Like, it looked more bar the 15 minutes, Spurs were the deserved winners. Yeah. Like, and they could have won convincingly.
Because after, as you said, that rapid start by Man City, but then they blow them out of the water. I'm guiding all my football groups, everyone was saying, do you know what? If Spurs can be more meticulous on the counter, they're giving the ball away, they're gonna score him.
Yeah.
And but you see the goal. I thought Son overran the ball. I thought Son overran it. And then they've allowed him to pop it left bottom corner.
I blame Diaz. Because obviously he's in the line of vision for Edison anyway.
Should have read it.
But you're making some weak challenge with your five, bro.
What's happened to him?
But this is what I said. Diaz will get found out this season. I said he's going to get found out this season. He's not going to have a great season.
They look like a Rolls Royce.
City are in... Listen, I don't think... Listen, if City don't get Kane or a striker... First of all, if they don't get Kane or another striker, they ain't finishing top 2. They're not, yeah? But if I'm City, forget Harry Kane. You just heard Lewandowski what he said. Banging for a couple years.
That's what I'm saying.
100, I don't care what it is. 100 mil, put it on the table.
Chelsea really tried, but I think they were trying to offer about 75 whatever, and they were rebuffed.
I'm
thinking, what's that going to do for Lukaku's confidence? Because Tuchel got in the press conference and he was talking about, we tried to buy Lewandowski. I thought,
oh my God.
You're about to buy Lukaku.
Forget Kane. Get Lewandowski and the title's yours, bruv. I don't care how old he is, he's the best striker in the world, bruv. And he can do a thing in that City team. Are you mad? And you need goals. Yeah? Do you know what bad it is that City need a striker, but they got a striker.
This is what Man was saying. Even Man City fans were saying, how are you, Jesus, the backup striker, and the team apparently doesn't have a striker? It doesn't make
it's mad.
What sense does it make?
But and this thing, don't get me wrong, I get from last season, Pep did without a striker, scoring plenty of goals, whatever. But teams will figure you out, bro. They'll figure you out, and like I said, you can't afford this slow start this season because the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man United will go clear, and it'll make it even harder for you to make up that ground. So something needs to change, and I get obviously the introduction of Grealish and that, but
he got slated, you know.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's always going to get slated because of the price tag. Unless he's bagging 2 goals every game.
Wait a minute, was it in the first or the second when Grealish was
second? Second.
I don't think he was as bad as people was, but you know, people carry agendas.
Of course,
so obviously, because they were saying that Man City was spending 100 million for someone they didn't need anyway.
Yeah.
They're coming.
But I think City, and I think Pep is also waiting to play his full strength team, innit?
Yeah.
Like he left out quite a few men anyway, but it was still a strong team and should have beaten Spurs on paper. Should have beaten Spurs, but first game back in that new stadium, the fans are there. First game season, the atmosphere, they're on it. It's not a surprise that Spurs won.
Yeah.
It's the fact that Man City only gave them 15 minutes. Gave them 15 minutes and then went to sleep. Like it annoyed me, but it's not panic station just yet. But remember when I think when you lot won the league, they played Norwich quite early. Yeah. And Norwich beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, the 3-2 game. Yeah.
Right, they play Norwich today. Yeah. If they lose it or drop points in this game, it's a wrap. I'm telling you, it's a wrap.
The way Norwich played against Liverpool, they're trying to stick Pookie on the shoulder and whatnot, and play the balls through. You look at it and you're thinking it should be that elementary, that routine 5-0 Manchester City home win. But Norwich have the tools. They've got Rashika now, or I can't. I'm not even going to say
the winger, yeah.
I'm not even going to say the way it's meant to be pronounced on the radio. I don't think I'm swearing, right? So they got Rashika, they got Pookie and Cantwell. Yeah, these are players that could cause Man City problems in transition should they press them high up the pitch, or they manage to just City give the ball away or something like that. That's what could happen. But I expect City to win or get twisted, but don't be surprised if Norwich calls them more of a threat than...
It's not going to be playing safe.
So as you're saying, you don't want to be playing catch up like that this early in the season, so we better make sure we take care of business in just over an hour.
What are we saying for Spurs though? Because
look, they looked revitalised under Nuno. And what people have to understand is that Nuno has had a few wins over City with Wolves. So he wasn't scared of this fixture, and you can see the way Tottenham are putting themselves, because another team might have put their heads down and thought, you know what, these men are onto us, they're pressing us, they're getting through our backline, they're going to give us a beating. But they held their own, they looked dangerous, and as you said, Bergwijn Smith, if they were better and more tidy in their possession, they could have actually have added in the second to their one goal, but you're going to take that all day long, that win. I'm just annoyed you made money off it at least, but I'm just annoyed that Tottenham was 6-1 and I didn't back it.
Yeah, but what Tottenham in terms, can we expect a Champions League push from Tottenham?
I don't know about that.
If Kane stays.
Oh, if Kane stays, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that I'm not going to go as far as saying they're better without Kane. How can you be better? That's nonsensical. They're not better without a player that got double-figure goals and assists last season. But Son revels in that role, because Son sometimes goes missing in football matches anyway. So if you have him in the centre rather than on the wing, that allows him to disappear, and he can pop up and score. And you know, Son, he can jack it off. Pause. Off of his left or his right foot with no backlift.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So he could have his best goal scoring season if Kane goes.
Okay.
But they still need to bring in the forward. They might as well get Vinicius on loan or something, because Benfica are stacked with forwards. But
time will tell.
You know, so time will tell. But no, Tottenham, I was impressed with the way they equipped themselves. They looked like they believed, and that's what they needed in the cup final.
That's what they needed in Europe.
That's another story.
We're going to talk about that foolishness, but good win for Spurs. Disappointing performance from City. Let's see where both teams go from here.